Hi everybody, welcome to Line of the Week number 146, Motif Development Using Melodic Rhythms. This week I practiced improvising over several tunes by taking a rhythm, adding notes to it, and then developing it. The line I wrote is just an example. You can take the melodic rhythm I'll show you in a minute and try it for yourself. One of the great things about going through these melodic rhythms and motifs is that it'll get you out of any rut you might find yourself stuck in. You'll be able to play things that you wouldn't otherwise play, things that ideas that otherwise would not occur to you. So I think, at least for me, hopefully that'll make me over time a better improviser. Before I get to the line of the week, and so we're all on the same page, here are the chords to the progression we'll be developing our motif over. The chords are F minor 7 to B flat 7 to E flat major 7 to A flat major 7 to D flat major 7 to G flat major 7 to B flat minor 7 to E flat 7, resolving to A flat major 7. Here are the chord scales I use. I use the notes from the chord scales for two things. First, as a source of notes for improvising, and second, to determine tensions to use for comping. The chord scales I'm using today are E flat major to B melodic minor to B flat pentatonic to E flat major 7 to A flat major to D flat major to A flat major to E melodic minor to E flat pentatonic. Here's a melodic rhythm I'm using this week. This motif is from Jerry Bergonzi's book, Volume 4, Melodic Rhythms Used with Permission. Here's the line of the week with Guitar Pro backing I use to make sure I'm getting the notes and the rhythm accurate. Generally speaking, the tools I use to develop motifs include the following. The original motif, which I derive by taking a melodic rhythm and putting notes to it. Variation of the original motif, meaning same notes, different rhythm, or same rhythm, different notes. Extension, which means adding notes to either the original motif or a fragment thereof. Fragmentation, using a part of the motif. Rhythmic displacement, starting the motif on a different beat. Augmentation, making the time values longer. And diminution, making the time values shorter. You can use some of these tools, you can use all of the tools, you can combine the tools. For example, fragmentation and extension you can combine frequently. That's a tool that I use. For an in-depth explanation of these ideas, check out Hal Crook's book, How to Improvise. This week's line is a simple example using the idea combining fragmentation and extension. So let's look specifically at the line of the week. In measure 1, you have the original motif, meaning the melodic rhythm using notes from the chord scale. In measure 2, you have a variation of the original motif, meaning same rhythm as the original motif, different notes. Measure 3, another variation of the original motif. In measure 4, you have a rest. It's important to rest so that you turn a stream of notes into a phrase. In measure 5, you've got an example of fragmentation and extension. That is, a fragment of the original motif, the first 3 notes of the original motif, is extended with a half note. In measure 6, you've got another example of fragmentation extension, meaning a fragmentation of the original motif is again extended with a half note. In measures 7 to 8, you've got the original motif extended by a dotted half note. In measure 8 to 9, you've got an example of fragmentation, rhythmic displacement, and extension all combined into one. That is, the 2/8 notes found in the beginning of the original motif are played at the end of measure 8, which is rhythmic displacement, and extended by a dotted half note. So that's all for this week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.